Hello and welcome back to the Metroid Crusade. I'm Caleb,
Yeah, I'm Junko.
and we've done it. We are here. Uh, we have, at this point, we have played through every uh, official release main title Metroid game that has a
Oh, what
different
about
story.
pinball?
That has a different story. Um, and yeah, we're here to talk about what is probably my second favorite game of all time, Metroid Dread for the Nintendo Switch. This came out in was that 2022?
Let me see. 2021, actually.
2021. Okay. All right. Well,
Now, what I remember hearing about Metroid Dread in 2005.
yeah.
I was 6 at that time. I was a Will baby, and it was always that game you always heard rumors about. I never thought it was real
Sure.
until out of nowhere in the E3 Direct. It just was. And I knew of Metroid 5 was coming, considering the teases in Metroid Samus Returns. I just didn't know it'd be called Dread. And then afterwards, they flat out confirming, yeah, Metroid Dread was real, and we've been developing it on and off for like years.
Yeah.
We just never had the technology.
Yeah. It really comes off as it really does come off as uh, James Cameron uh, not being able to make Avatar because just he had to wait 10 years for the technology to catch up with him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, this is Metroid Dread. This is my second favorite game of all time. And this is currently the last Metroid game to have been released.
And the
S-
last Metroid game in the timeline.
so, speaking of, go ahead and let us know where we're at in the timeline.
All right, so this game takes place uh, after Metroid Fusion. We don't know exactly when, but the Galactic
Well, I mean, like
Federation.
the Metroid timeline doesn't make any sense, so there's also
Shut, shut it.
that.
The Galactic Federation receives evidence that the X parasite has returned on a mysterious planet known as ZDR. At first, they attempted to investigate the planet using 7 Emmys, which are research robots made of some very durable material. They lost contact with them, of course, but afterwards they decide, all right, let's just send in the bounty hunter who is literally a hard counter to the X parasite, Samus Aran. Now Samus, feeling like it's almost like her duty to go on this mission, goes on there for lore. In terms of like the lore, apparently a very cheap price because Adam was complaining about it. Uh, Now on ZDR, uh, Samus loses contact with Adam due to the interference at the very bottom, and comes across a mysterious Chozo warrior who just wrecks her and nearly kills her. Then she suddenly wakes up, has all of her powers stripped away from her, and must explore this mysterious planet and encounter the Emmys, who have turned against Samus and is now in control of this mysterious Chozo warrior.
Yeah, so this is a Metroid game that's very interesting because this is the one where you start at the bottom and you have to work your way up.
Hmm.
Usually we have to get deeper and deeper into the crater for Metroid. This one a little bit different. We gotta work our way up.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. If you don't know, Mercury Steam are very big fans of the hip hop artist known as Drake
No,
because we have to
no.
start from the bottom and now we're here.
You really happy with that one?
I am not.
Okay, okay. Um,
Stupid.
yeah, yeah. So anyway, let's start with some basic gameplay. Um, we automatically have the power grip. Um,
Well, we had the power grip in Samus Returns as well, but at least this one has more of a lore explanation because this is the fusion suit.
true, true. What is this? The fusion suit?
I mean, she still has her absorption abilities, and she's weak to the cold. So yes, she. This is the fusion suit.
I don't know. I always thought the fusion suit was a little bit more like there's a little bit more metallic plating on this.
Oh yeah, as it's shown that her armor is healing from all the surgeries, but she still has all the Metroid esque uh, abilities, such as weakness of the cold and being able to absorb powers from certain entities, such as the brain things and the Emmys.
Central units.
Yeah, yeah, central units.
So yeah, essentially, what our what's the word? Um, Essentially, our gameplay loop is we're going to go into each area. There will be an Emmy, and there will be a central unit, um, and there will be something in the. From what I noticed, you're in. Let's say you're in area 2. I don't remember the names of the areas, but let's say you're in area 2. You will eventually have to go to area 3 to get an item. You will go back to area 2 and you'll use that item to help you get to the central unit. Once you get to the central unit, you defeat the central unit. After that, the central unit, you can absorb its power, and the Omega Blaster's online. The Omega Blaster is the only way to deal with the enemies. Other than that, you're pretty much going to be running and hiding from the enemies until then. Um, and you do that. Well, I think that's the beautiful thing about Dread is there are 7 Emmys, so you'd think you'd have to go through that 7 times, but you really only have to do it 4 times
Well,
because
no, no, well, 5 times.
the game knows when the gimmick has overstayed its welcome.
Hmm.
And
Well,
that
yeah, the first and last Emmys aren't real Emmy encounters. They're set pieces. The other
well in
5
the,
are real Emmy encounters.
and even then, after the first 3 of the real Emmy encounters, you take a break before you fight the fifth and sixth Emmy.
Hmm.
So it's really nice about that.
Yeah.
Um,
Now, what do you think about the Emmys?
uh, they are probably the. I think they're the best designed enemies that Metroid's ever had.
I mean, they better. They spent 10 years on this.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. This is one of those things where like this is not Duke Nukem Forever. Um, like they spent a good amount of time on this,
Well,
and it
well,
shows.
well. It's not like Duke Nukem because Duke Nukem was just worked on over and over for the span of like 10 years. This game was more they worked on it, realized it doesn't work, put it off, try it again if technology's there. No, it's not there. All right. Then one more time, technology's finally there.
Yeah, which is ironic because I definitely think that this feels like a this feels like a GameCube game. If does that resonate with you at all? Does that make any
No,
sense?
I can definitely tell. I can definitely agree with you on that.
There's something about this that just feels like a GameCube game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh man, here's the thing. This is what I was so nervous about with this game. Is what is there to say about this game? It is so much easier to complain about a game that I hate than it is to talk about a game I love. You know?
Well, let's start about this. You can now shoot in 360, like 360 with the control stick now.
Yep.
You can't just now you don't have to go into aim mode for it. So this is this is a game that is fully built for analog controls.
Yes.
And also
Um,
the counter has been revamped.
yes. At this point, the counter is almost like just a melee attack. At this point,
Oh yeah.
you can do actually. It's not a dash attack. It is best used as a dash counter. Um, but essentially, you can. It gives you like a little. It propels you a little bit forward whenever you're running, and you use the counter maneuver.
Yeah, and also like I've actually have been using that attack more for just standard like just melee attacks because there's a lot more weaker enemies that do die just from the standard counter, which makes it makes the melee more like versatile. You don't just use it as the counter button.
Right, right. Um, let's see. Well, let's go with let's go ahead with uh our what's the word?
Power
Let
ups.
Yeah, let's go with our power ups. So we start off with the power suit, power beam, and missiles. Uh,
Now, what do you think of the power suit in this version of the game?
this might be the best suit in Metroid history.
I wouldn't say that, but I
I
definitely
would.
know where you're coming from.
No, this is. I mean, I definitely would say that. Like it's this, and here's the thing: the hazard shield is like I know that's just for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, I think just like if I go like purely objective, like taking subjectivity out of this,
Mm-hmm.
this is definitely the best. It's just it's so well designed. We are in the we're in the era of Nintendo where our main characters are now wearing blue
Yeah.
because
Well, in Prime
Link.
4, she's wearing red.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like this is back whenever like Link wearing blue was a big deal.
Yeah. I bet you $5 that the inspiration for the new suit for Samus in Prime 4 was in response to this suit. It's like, well, now they got blue. I guess we got to differentiate and make it red.
Yeah, I guess. Um, which we still don't know the name of that suit, which is super interesting.
Oh yeah.
Uh, so let's see. our first item that we get is the charge beam, and I mean it's the charge beam.
Yeah, it's what you see is what you get.
And then after that, we immediately get a new power up, the spider magnet. In a way, it's kind of like the spider ball, except it doesn't require the morph ball. That's a big thing. They keep the morph ball away from you for a good while.
Oh yeah, and I think that's a genius idea.
Yeah.
It,
Well,
it, it shows a lot. It shows a lot of confidence in Mercury Steam's ability to uh, to make proper like levels where it's still fun to traverse without the morph ball, and it also helps with the tone of the early game. And I'm gonna say this: I think the best part of the game is the early game, just because you never get you can never accurately capture that dread feeling that you get in the
yeah,
rest of the game.
yeah. I mean, obviously the more
Not saying that
powerful,
the rest is like is worse. I'm just
the more the more the
it's
more powerful you get, the less scary the game gets. Absolutely.
hmm
Let's see. So the spider magnet, which by the way, how we're getting a little bit off topic. We'll get back to the spider magnet. The fact that they added a slide mechanic, which they added a slide mechanic,
hmm
so you run, and then the button that will eventually be for morph ball, initially is just for a run slide. Do you think part of it started as a joke for why can't Metroid crawl?
maybe.
But yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. Movement in this game is so good. There's so much freedom of movement, essentially, and the slide really helps with that.
hmm
The spider magnet, you're going to notice is there will be different walls that have like this blue energy on it, and you really can't do anything with it. Once you get the spider magnet, you can crawl on those walls. You can hang on those walls, um,
It's
and
kind of like those crawl sections, like those climbing sections in Fusion, but it's a separate power up.
right, exactly.
Though it does get expanded upon later on, but we'll talk about those abilities later.
Next up is the Phantom Cloak. The Phantom Cloak um,
Stress
is
Maker 5000.
that's the what?
The Stress Maker 5000. Oh, we got the
Okay.
Jaffe. You got the Jaffe room.
Yes, we do. Yeah, this is the director. It was the director of God of War, right?
Director of God of War and Twisted Metal Black, which I
Gotcha.
find that hilarious because Twisted Metal Black is one of the most cryptic games ever made.
Yeah. So essentially, he sucks at video games. Uh, I love the games that he makes, but man, does he personally suck at video games. Um, but yeah,
And
he didn't understand that Metroid is a cryptic game that you're supposed to shoot ceilings and walls.
it's not even that cryptic.
It's not even
Y-
that cryptic.
I did it subconsciously. Before I
Yeah,
realized I was in the Jaffe room, I already solved the puzzle.
yeah, it's really funny. But anyway, um, go ahead and you say that the cloak is a stress maker. You do your thing. You let me know why it's a stress maker.
All right, so this is the first Aeon power that you get in the game,
Oh,
and
that's the thing we brought
they
back
brought
the
back
Aeon.
Aeon powers. But the Aeon is a bit different in this game. You don't gather Aeon energy through your counter; it's recharged automatically.
Yes.
But the abilities, I would say, they are a bit subdued in comparison to Samus Returns. But
I would say there was really only one that I ever used.
nah, I used all three. Anyways, the the Phantom Cloak allows you to go invisible, but costs your Aeon bar. And if you go to 0, you'll still be cloaked, but it'll take your energy as its power source instead. Now, you use this to not only get through certain doors that have scanners, but also to avoid detection from the enemy. And this is where the stress comes in. Nothing beats staying cloaked until like you have like one tank left because the enemy refuses to stop patrolling around your sector. And oh boy, there were some sections where I had to take a breather.
So I myself didn't really ever use the Phantom Cloak. Um,
It actually becomes more useful as the game progresses because the scanner of the enemy gets more like wide.
so one thing that we didn't talk about the Emmys is whenever they catch you, you have the opportunity to counter and stun them so you can run away.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being completely honest, I did not use the Phantom Cloak as much because I either outmaneuvered them or I got really good at countering.
I
I
could
could
never get used to the counters.
really
Yeah, I never did it.
okay. I mean I did it quite a bit. I think my success rate was probably 80-90%.
Really?
Yeah, I got it done super easy.
Okay then.
So yeah, I never really used the Phantom Cloak because I just never needed it.
So it's
Um,
really just a skill issue for me. It's called skill issue, the Aeon ability.
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Well, the
Um,
well the other Aeon ability, one of the other Aeon abilities is also a skill issue.
I use that one a lot though.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get there. After that, we have the wide beam, also known as the spazer. I definitely don't know why here's the thing, because it was called the wide beam infusion, and it's called the wide beam here. It's called the spazer everywhere else, and I don't get it.
Well, the wide beam was something different in Fusion. It was a literal like wide beam, but in this game,
Yeah,
it's just a spacer, so I don't get it.
yeah. It's interesting, but yeah, I mean it's just the spazer. After that, we get the morph ball.
Yeah,
Um,
after all that, you finally get the morph ball. You have to take down the second Emmy in order to get the morph ball.
yep. Let's see. After that, after that is the various suit.
Now, I'm gonna be
So
honest. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like the Varia suit all that much in this game. Like, I liked it, but it's like it wasn't as good as the original power suit in this game, which is shocking because usually I prefer the Varia suit to the power suit. Um, I don't know. The white doesn't really work as well for the orange as much as like blue.
I will disagree with you on that. Um, but uh,
It's just a taste thing.
I still think power like the blue looks better than the orange. I will say that.
No, no, I agree with in terms of this game. Yes.
Let's see. After that, we get something that for me was a new weapon when I first played this, because I hadn't played Other M at that point. It's the diffusion beam.
Yeah, they brought that back.
Yeah, but it's a little different because the diffusion beam in Other M was definitely more so for
To accommodate
um,
for 3D.
the accommodated 3D. In this, it's more so because we're not going to give you the wave beam until the end of the game. And so we need you to be able to shoot deep within the walls to make things explode.
Mm-hmm.
It's less combat and more for exploration.
Yeah, and I kind of liked it.
And then here is where you have to make a decision. Because after diffusion beam, you get the bomb, and we'll get to the decision whenever we get the bosses. Uh,
Mhm.
but after all this, we have morph ball bombs. After a pretty big boss fight, is when we get bombs. Um, and then once we're done with bombs, we get the next Aeon ability, the Flash Shift.
Now the flash shift is every modern like boomer shooter sort of dash mechanic. It's
Yeah,
an air dash. It's an air dash.
yeah. That I mean, I used it as an air dash, definitely.
And it's definitely the ability that you'll be using the most. Though I will say, it's not necessary, if that makes any sense.
I agree.
It's
It's not one of those things where you can go through. I'm trying to think. It's not one of those things where you can go through, uh, every the entire game and never use it. But I definitely used it for a lot of combat, but it's not necessary. But I like it. And then we have the speed booster, which I
been
love
through a
the speed
lot of
booster.
changes in this game.
I love the speed booster. Essentially, uh, it
They've
kind
made
of
two big changes in this game,
okay. Go ahead.
and they're both relating to momentum. In this game, wall jumps keep your speed boost momentum as well as slides.
Yep,
So, well, slides into Morph Ball. So it allows you to do some crazy stuff. And this is also probably the most combat focused version of the speed booster, even more so than Other M, because there's
I didn't.
multiple points in this game where you can use a speed booster on a boss, and in some ways that is the viable option. What about you, Caleb?
I didn't ever really use it for combat, if I'm being honest. I mean, I definitely use it for exploration, and I think that the speed booster puzzles in this game are the best the puzzles have ever been.
Oh yeah,
But no,
I
I
would
don't.
I would say it's up there with Zero Mission.
Can't say that I used it for combat. No. Um, After this is the grapple beam.
And this is where I was talking about with the upgrades with the spider grip. That's what it's called, right? Spider grip,
Spider magnet.
spider magnet. Now, the grapple beam in this game is a bit of an upgraded version of the grapple beam from Samus Returns. Now is a separate trigger to activate the grapple beam, so it's a lot more user friendly to use it. And in this game, you can use the grapple beam on the actual uh, spider magnet like panels and grapple onto them, which makes it essential for the later Emmy sections. I don't think I would have survived without them. Without those,
I didn't even think of that.
really.
Like I said, I didn't. Here's the thing: I got so good at countering that the Emmys, I was never really concerned. Like, you talk about this, and I'm like, man, it's almost like countering Emmys ruins the game. It doesn't ruin the game. This is my second favorite game of all time. Um, but yeah, um, After that is the super missile, which they do the thing that I love in this. They just get rid of the missiles. You have super missiles, go crazy.
Yeah, I
It's
the more I
better.
play through the series, the more I'm just like, stop with the freaking like juggling. Either make the super missiles a charge or make the super missiles just stack.
Yep.
Don't do the two separate super missile crap. It's annoying and it's hard to keep track of them. And it only really worked in super, anyways. So stop doing it.
Yep. It's better than this. I love it. Um, and then we get the plasma beam about halfway through, which
Oh
is
yeah,
insane.
the plasma beam in this game. I would say it's actually very like just as useful, if not more, than in Samus Returns, because you deal with a lot of enemies in this game, and something like that
Yeah.
comes in real handy.
Yes, 100%.
Also, they stop countering.
What do you mean?
Well, they stop countering as much,
I don't know. You gotta. They stop countering. What?
like the enemies.
They don't counter. You do as the player.
Well, counter prompts.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know what you were talking about. So they stop. There are less attacks that we can counter as the game goes on.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next up, I believe this is the. No, this isn't an Aeon ability. Uh, it has the same. You know why I think it's an Aeon ability? Because
Why?
it has the same like uh, effect as it. It's the spin boost.
Oh yeah, the thing that you only use for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about that. Waste of time, right?
Introducing the most useless power in the game.
It's a double jump, but it takes execution.
Just why not just give us the high jump boots?
Yeah, I don't understand it. Um, but yeah, it's the spin boost. It's a double jump that actually takes execution for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
um, let's see. What is next?
The space
The
jump.
ice missile.
Oh yeah, the ice missile. Yeah,
The ice
I,
missile is next.
I mean it's the ice
And
missile.
it's the ice, but you know it's nice because you don't have to charge it. It just works.
Yeah. Well, you have to shoot for bigger enemies. You have to shoot it like 3 or 4 times, which can
Yeah,
be a bit annoying. But
it just works though. That's what I'm saying. Like you don't have to switch to ice missile. You don't have to charge ice missile. It just is ice missile.
mm-hmm. And at
Um,
least
go ahead.
and also at least the and you don't have to deal with like Metroids or anything, so it's not like it's super necessary. It's really just there to open doors. It
Yeah,
really
pretty much.
comes down to it.
Let's see. After this is the pulse radar. Um,
Which I think is kind of ballsy, sh- uh, giving you like that sort of ability towards the end of the game instead of at least in the middle.
yeah,
Because I remember the X-ray visor. You get that in the middle of the game in Super.
yeah. I don't know why because I didn't necessarily need it at that point. You know
I
what I
mean, it
mean?
helps, but
I didn't even find it as helpful as I didn't even
The
find it as
one,
helpful as
the one
when
that
Samus Returns.
returns. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, because in Samus Returns it has like the annoying bleeps.
yeah. Um, then we have the Storm Missile. The Storm Missile is basically the lock-on missiles from every other Metroid, the Seeker missiles.
Well,
Yeah,
well, the secret missiles from Prime, but I think this is actually the most useful the secret missiles have been in the entire series.
kind of. I do think that they are kind of a noob trap, though.
Oh, absolutely. But in certain like bosses or mini bosses, very useful. Like uh for like the Chozo warriors or the Chozo robots, you want to use seeker missiles because
Yeah.
you're forced to move around the place. You don't have time to dump missiles in the traditional Metroid way.
Yep. All right. Well, let's go ahead and I would say at this point, from here on out, we are at end game items. So let's go ahead and move on to bosses.
Okay. Well,
Um,
actually, no. We'll save that for. We'll save the rest of the powers for later. Yeah.
I think end game starts with the twins.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, let's see. We've got our Emmys. And we could just go ahead like I don't care about like the Emmy bosses as much, so we can just talk about those. Um, the Emmys, uh, the cool thing about them is that, you'll get a power up from them. Their
Hmm.
power up reflects like their abilities reflect what power up you get. So like the one that's super fast, you get the speed booster from.
Hmm.
The one that can get you and crawl through like ducts, that's where you get the morph ball. So those are those are pretty interesting. I really like that idea. It's almost like a Mega Man thing if you think about it.
Oh yeah, actually. Well. What's funny is uh, when you uh, when you read the original manual of Metroid, it makes it sound like Samus has Mega Man's powers
Yeah,
because it talks about how her ability to steal the power from her enemies, and it's like it's trying to talk about like how like a lore reason for why there's health pickups and missiles,
yeah.
but it's funnier that she just straight up has Mega Man powers. Uh
All right, let's see. So who's our first? Our first official boss is Corpius.
oh yeah, Corpius.
What do you think of Corpius?
I think he's a really good first boss. He's
Yeah,
hard enough he's hard enough to give a bit of a challenge to newer players, but if you're a returning player, you know that you can just ignore the cloaking mechanic and just shoot at its head if you know where it's at.
yeah, pretty much. And then, you got your
It
slide
also,
mechanic right there as well.
yeah, it teaches you how to play the boss. I think I think it's a very well made first boss. It's not too difficult, but still challenging.
Yeah. Let's see. After that, who do we have? We have. Oh, it's it's Kraid.
Our boy.
So here's the thing with Kraid. Kraid has a couple different things that you can do with it. Uh, you can either fight Kraid the normal way, or you can sequence break. And I think we both sequence broke this, right?
Yeah, because I beat him legit the first time.
I beat him
So I
legit the
want
first
to
time too.
see. So I want to see how he would go with the sequence break version.
Yeah, and I kind of wish I fought him. Sequence breaking version is super easy.
Yeah, but I haven't already played Crade.
Essentially, Kraid has an infection in his belly button, and you've got to bomb it, and that's really it.
But you
Just
have to go. But you have to go out of your way to get the Morph Ball Bomb version of
yeah,
this fight.
yeah, kind of like so. You did the hard thing where you tried to damage boost your way. And I did the glitch that I can't remember what it's called. I think it's a slide jump where you slide off of a ledge, but you still have your jump for a couple frames, and so you can kind of double jump. It's like an air hike, and so that's what I did, and I did it on like my first try. You spent about 20 minutes trying to damage boost.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's a fun boss. Um, I question how he's here.
You know what's funny? I before we started this podcast, I looked into the Chozo archives in this game.
Okay,
Now, in comparison to Samus
there's
Return,
that infection.
there isn't a whole lot of new information you get with Kraid or with what's going on. It's basically just flavor text with visual flavor text with the Chozo archives in this game, and in one of them shows uh, shows the Chozo locking Kraid up, and we don't exactly know when this happens. So we're not sure if this is the real Kraid or if this is just another species or a clone. I am of the opinion that this is the real Kraid because it's really funny that this is his fate. He just gets locked up and being like a jobber.
Sure, yeah, I could see that. Let's see who's after that. Uh,
Also, one last thing: the sequence break is sort of a reversal of how Kraid is in Super Metroid. Because in Super Metroid, you did a sequence break to get to Kraid because you didn't want to get an item right from another level. But in this game, you have to go get an item from another level to to beat Kraid quicker. So it's like a reverse.
yeah, I could see that. Yeah, no, I understand. All right, so the next boss fight actually happens after we beat what's his name? The the tribe leader.
The tribe leader.
Yeah, what's his name? Not Ravenbeak, but the other one.
Talking about the robots.
No. We fight the first robot after we meet the tribe leader or whatever.
Oh, Quiet Robe.
Quiet Robe, yeah.
Also, let's get back into the story. Halfway through the game, uh, you get ambushed by the wave beam enemy, but right before it's about to kill you, Quiet Robe disables all the enemies and introduces himself to Samus. Explains that years ago, after the creation of the Metroids and the Metroids turning on them, the Thoha tribe contacts the Makan tribe for assistance to take care of the Metroid threat. Now, the Thoa tribe, after sealing the Metroids, wanted to just completely destroy SR-388. But Ravenbeak, the leader of the Makan tribe, was like, no, I want this used as a bioweapon. So he kills everyone from the Thoa tribe except for Quiet Robe, so that way control the Metroids, because only a Thoa Metroid, the Thoa tribe member of the Chozo, can properly control a Metroid. But on their way to back to their home planet, planet ZDR, an X parasite actually infected one of their soldiers and began a full plague upon the planet, but was subdued by Ravenbeak. But by the time he was done with the X parasite issue, the entire Metroid population was destroyed by Samus Aran. Now, usually that would just be the end of it, but the same killer of all Metroids got the DNA of the last Metroid inside of her. So Quiet Road reveals that Ravenbeak's plan is to extract the DNA of Samus so he can retrieve the Metroid DNA. And in this scene, we hear Samus speak in her native tongue for the first time.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
It's a hype moment. Uh,
And then Quiet Robe is immediately killed
yep, by a robot.
by a robot who we fight that they're pretty easy, you know.
I would say the first one's tough, but by the time you get the secret missiles, they're a joke.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Uh, our next one is, what is this thing? Oh yeah, this thing. Dragaiga.
Is
Let's
that the
see.
the clam thing?
Um,
Like,
let's see. Give me a second. I believe so. It is indeed a giant clam thing. So,
how wonderful! It dies in like 2 phases.
yeah, this one is not that difficult.
This this is one of those bosses where you think, wait, that's it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you expect another phase with this boss.
I mean, I definitely thought that if we're talking about like scary bosses, I thought this one was the scary. Well, because like underwater creatures freak me out.
Well, that's just a you thing.
Um,
I mean, I don't like the water, but I'm not scared of underwater creatures in video games.
well, I am because like your movement in water is limited. I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, but you have the grapple beam for that. Wait, how did you not know that the grapple beam? Because you just never put two and two together for the enemy fight, I guess.
Correct.
Okay.
Like I knew it about this one, I just never thought about it.
Okay.
I never needed it. like it's necessary in this fight.
Look, all I'm reminded is that I suck.
Let's see. After Dragaga, I don't know how it's pronounced. I think it's another one of the. So it's a Chozo soldier, which is different from the robots, right? Because it has like the spear,
Yeah. But here's the thing. This is another spoiler. The X parasites are back.
which is
And
funny because like, of course they are, but it's one of those things that like I first saw it, I'm like, how did I not see that coming?
do you know why? Because I was playing through when we were playing through this game for the first time, I was playing ahead of you, and I told you to not come into my room while I'm playing it And you thought it was like a new suit,
Yeah.
but no, it's full on X parasites are back. Now,
Yeah.
I found these bosses to be so freaking easy. Like, literally, I can play these with my eyes closed.
Um. Yes. We'll get to one. I think there's one in the end game that's a little bit more difficult, but yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like and you fight these a couple times. You hear the thing, the robots and the soldiers you fight a couple times throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. After that, we have. Um. Yeah. No, those are all the bosses. That are. Those are all the bosses up until the end game.
The
So
ends.
we can start talking about the end game. With we could start off with the twin robo boss fight, which I'm a
It's
fan
really
of.
just a glorified tutorial for the seeker missiles.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, there's also
Now
there was also that beetle,
I don't remember that one.
the one where you get the seeker missiles.
Was that really a boss?
Technically, it is, but it's so forgettable. Yeah, I don't really care if you forget about it that much. But yeah, this thing's more of a power
Let's see.
fantasy of showing how strong you are.
Oh, Eskew, the flying thing.
Yeah, I barely
Uh,
remember it, so I just remember that
yeah.
it
Let
exists.
me. Hmm. Yeah, there he is. I thought he was relatively. I mean, he was a little difficult, but
Yeah,
that's just because of his.
bullet
Uh,
hell section.
yeah, his bullet hell section. Not super impressive. But once you let me see. I'm trying to see what is here.
Well, I think it's once you get the gravity suit.
Well, no, because you know what you get before you get them after the twin robos. You get the space jump.
Yep, and you
That
get
here
that, and
right after twin.
the span you get from the time you have with the double jump before the space jump is like 30 minutes.
Yeah, which that's the real reason why I say that's where the end game starts because I think that's how like we all know a Metroid end game starts once you get the space jump. Once they're
Yeah,
once the developers are like, okay, go wherever you want, we don't care. It's kind of like
yeah,
like once randomize, like you start a randomizer off with the space jump. Oh, you're sitting pretty. It's because you can go wherever you
yeah,
want.
yeah. Game's over.
Let's see. After that is the gravity suit. So
Now,
you
actually,
are.
no, I like this version of the gravity suit.
I was about to say you are indeed the gravity suit enjoyer. I didn't know what your.
I like this one. The white and purple works better than white and orange. I don't enjoy it as much as Samus Returns' gravity suit, but half of that is just because of subtext. I like the subtext behind the gravity suit in that game. But I like this gravity suit. It's very clean and it works well in 3D.
And it does look rather nice.
Yes, again, like I said, it looks good in 3D, and it also makes Samus look the most like a Metroid that she's been at this point.
I guess, sure, kinda.
Like I said, at this point, wink,
Uh,
wink.
yeah. And then after that, we get the screw attack, which that's the thing. They give you space jump, gravity suit, and screw attack like one after the other. They're like, okay, you're at the end of the game. Go crazy.
Well, there's also, and then after that,
No, no, yeah, we're gonna get there, but you get the screw attack, which screw attack's screw attack. It's the best item in the game. You know,
yeah,
no
yeah,
question.
I wouldn't say it's as useful as Samus Returns, but sure is prettier. That's one thing. One problem with the Samus Returns screw attack is that it's pretty ugly.
Yeah, and then up next we get another boss fight. This is what's the name of this boss? Ex-
Experiment.
Number Z57.
It's the Parasite Queen.
It is the Parasite Queen. Okay, Mr. Lore. How are the Parasite Queens on ZDR?
Well, I actually do have a. We're not sure if this is the Parasite Queen. It just happens to look like one. But I actually do have some lore explanations for this. But I will
Okay,
explain that when we get into the lore dumping aspect of this game.
okay. So as far as the boss itself, what did you think of it?
I think it's a much better version of the Diggernaut boss fight.
I agree with that, but I also think that this boss is super easy.
Exactly. That's the problem with the Diggernaut boss fight was that it was really hard if you didn't know the gimmick, if you didn't know the cheese strap. But in this boss, it's it's good if you don't know the cheese strat, but it's also good if you do.
Which I don't know if I do. What is it?
The cheese strat in this is that in the section where the Parasite Queen esque boss fights or destroys the little gunk on the fans and activates the fans, and you have to play Flappy Bird because that's what it is. It's Flappy Bird.
Sure,
Uh,
yeah.
it actually lets you have just enough time to get a Shine Spark ready. If you Shine Spark the boss, it instantly kills it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, so I didn't do that this time around, but I do know about that one.
Now, not exactly proud of this, but I did waste a good amount of time trying to get that to work. Because because I wasn't good at doing the Shine Spark at the time. Oh yeah, here's Flappy Bird. But as soon as you do it, it, it next time I fight this boss, I'm probably going to be able to like kill in like one hit. So I'm not gonna lose sleep over that.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
There's
What's next? Uh,
one more ability.
the cross bomb.
Yeah, and the beetle.
Yeah. Well, no, there's more abilities after that.
Oh yeah,
We got the this is
Bomberman though.
so cross bomb is the last of the new bosses. No, I'm sorry. Cross bomb last of the new items. Um,
It's Bomberman.
it's just Bomberman. Well, it's a little different because, like, you can position your morph ball a little different,
I
so that
kind
way.
of wish we had this ability earlier on.
I agree. Like, I it doesn't have the usefulness that I think it should have. By the point we get it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And then our next boss is what is it called again? Golzuna. So the entire game, we've been fighting these beetle things, or not the yeah, they're kind of these beetle things.
They're
Uh,
beetles. The
yeah,
big bad beetle bugs.
and so at this point, it's just business as usual, no problem. We're gonna beat this, no problem. And then all of a sudden, okay, Mister Lore, why do they keep evolving?
Because X parasites are jerks.
Help me out with that.
Well, they are X parasites are inherently malice in nature, so they're ever evolving, and this one particular X parasite just kept evolving to make sure to defeat Samus.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
And its solution was Bomberman.
yeah.
Now,
So
I'm gonna be honest, I cheesed this fight
how so?
because you can shine spark every phase of this fight. Like every time it makes a new transformation, you can shine spark it. And when you shine spark the last form, it pretty much takes like half of its health away. So I only had to shoot it like 3 times.
Okay,
Like,
understood. Interesting. But yeah, I mean, even without that, it's a super easy boss fight.
but yeah, I just wish this boss was. I just wish this ability was in the game earlier. And also, if you notice, you're getting a lot of abilities really quickly in the end game.
It's time to wrap it up. Wrap up the game. You know.
Yeah, and I don't particularly like it in this game. I think it works in Fusion, but not in this game. It just gives me the vibe of I wish I could have played around with these abilities more.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Because in Fusion, a lot of the abilities that you get uh, in the let's wrap it up process were abilities that were either made for endgame, such as the power bombs, or just standard end game abilities, such as screw attack, space jump, but not something that could potentially have fun levels like the X bomb.
All right, let's see. So up next is so our final Emmy, which contains the wave beam. I think this Emmy was probably the most annoying because this is the only one that like it's hard to run away from because it can shoot you through walls and stun lock you.
What's the solution to that, Caleb?
What?
The Phantom Cloak.
Oh yeah, you could do that, or
Or the grapple beam, so you can grapple onto spider magnet pads.
yeah, I could see that. Sure. Um, and then I
Or you
lied.
could just counter it and
Or
ignore
you
the game's mechanics like you.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not ignore the game's mechanics. I'm doing the game's mechanics.
Yeah.
Uh, and I lied. There's one more Emmy that is basically nothing. Uh,
It's a set piece.
yeah, it's a set
So
piece. And,
so prior to that, there's a cutscene where Samus's arm was freaking out, and this is actually being shown throughout the game. Is Samus's arm freaking out in response to seeing Mockin related stuff, but when the last Emmy came to ambush her, which is the power bomb Emmy, she completely sucked it dry like a Metroid. And then another Chozo warrior came in, and she also sucked that one down again like a Metroid, showing that her Metroid DNA is trying to mutate her into a full-on Metroid.
and
Now,
that's when we get
now,
the power bomb.
mm-hmm. And that is the all right. Let's go back to the rest of the game and complete everything ability. I definitely
Oh,
prefer power bombs to being like that over the baby Metroid for some reason.
yeah, the baby Metroid was it was dumb.
And it's not like it's not like in Other M where they lock off areas and don't let you backtrack. You had a lot of time to pick up a lot of abilities, so cleanup is not nearly as bad. This is actually one of the easier cleanups in Metroid history.
Yeah. Also, we didn't mention this. This game has the other M thing where it has energy tanks, but also energy parts.
And they're much better in this game
It works so much
by a
better.
mile.
Yep.
Well, in one, you just get a lot more stuff to pick up, so it makes sense for you to get energy parts. But also, you get a lot of energy parts throughout playing the game, so it's not like some dumb end game thing just to pad out the playtime.
And so at this point, we come to our penultimate boss fight. This is the one that I thought he was a little difficult. I'll be honest.
I had to try like once.
Yeah, it's the Golden Warrior. Basically a reference to the Golden Chorizo.
Yeah. No, I I just got that.
You never noticed that?
No.
Yeah, no, this is the Golden Chorizo.
Well, finally you got one over me. Dang it. I literally never noticed this.
Yeah. This is my second favorite game of all time.
Oh my god.
You know what? I thought that would have been an easy one.
No.
It is an easy
You
one.
you know me. I'll miss things that are screaming at my face.
Yep. So yeah, you fight the Chozo, the golden Chozo soldier, and he is relatively easy. At this one, did have to try a little bit more. Uh, but now we make our way up to the surface, to the tower of Itorash. I say that because I read it.
Atrash.
I saw it on screen. All right, and so I think at this point, this is where the Lordum comes in, right?
Yes. So let's talk about some story elements. One. So throughout the game, you've been talking to Adam about your mission, but Adam seemed a bit off in this game. If you paid attention to the other Metroid games, which, to be fair, a lot of people didn't. One, Adam seems to be especially cold towards Samus in this game. And this is AI Adam, not uh, regular Adam and other M. So he wouldn't be that cold towards Samus. But also, he doesn't say lady at all throughout the adventure.
Which is the thing that annoys me the most. That I should have caught it.
As it turns out, the Adam you were talking to throughout this game was an imposter. It was actually Ravenbeak the entire time. Now, Ravenbeak's plan was to basically train up Samus and basically kickstart her Metroid DNA, so that way she'll be able to use her Metroid powers. And after that, as it's revealed, he's not planning on cloning Metroids. He's planning on cloning Samus Arans and having an army of Samus Arans. That's why he killed Quiet Robe, because he had no use for him anymore. Also, speaking of Quiet Robe and the Thoa tribe, so Samus's like bird parents, they were from the Thoa tribe. So if she had the DNA of the Thoa tribe, then she should have been able to control the Metroids throughout the entire series. So why were they so aggro towards her? It was actually because she didn't just have Thoa tribe DNA that was infused in her, but Makan DNA as well. So who was the Makan father? It was actually Ravenbeak the entire time. Now, there actually is some interesting lore aspects. Before we actually get to the final boss, we're going to talk about all the lore stuff that was added in this game, because a lot of it is like crazy. First things first, we now have a full Chozo language, both dialect and the alphabet. If you notice
Mhm.
throughout the game, there are these triangle symbols scattered throughout the game. That is actually the Chozo language, or at least the Makan language. And this is actually a full functioning alphabet that you can use to translate and understand the full, like, again, the whole Chozo language. It actually took a lot of trial and error through the Metroid community to figure out what is what. It was actually with the help of the cutscene, the one cutscene that actually helped out with it. Basically, the Metro, I think the Rosetta Stone of learning the Chozo language was actually the word Metroid, because if you can translate Metroid, then you can sort of uh, go from there. It's kind of like the movie Arrival, if you remember that. Great movie, by the way.
Mhm.
Uh, Also, again, the Chozo language is also a fully functional language. It's not like some alien babble that a lot of sci-fi series like to do. No, it's a full functioning language that's rooted in Spanish, because Mercury Steam is a Spanish developing company. But I think that works because a lot of fictional languages stem from English, because, of course, a lot of writers who make these fictional languages are from English speaking countries. So making the Chozo language based off of Spanish, well, rooted in Spanish, gives it a little more flavor. But this is just dumb world building that really doesn't matter. Now, let's talk about the lore that actually does matter. Now, throughout the game, when you go to like save stations, map rooms, all that stuff, you'll notice that there are Chozo murals everywhere. One of these murals has a huge lore implications. It is the Chozo, or at least the Makan tribe, and a submissive space pirates. Like, is a space pirate kneeling down to a Makan.
Okay.
Now, why is this important? Well, one, this could explain how the Makken managed to capture Kraid and lock him up. And two, they made the Ravenbeak's initial plan to control the Metroids, inadvertently created Samus. Because when Samus's bird parents they visited her her colony, for like fuel and whatnot. Afterwards, immediately they were attacked by space pirates. Now it did seem awfully convenient, but if you remember, they were members of the Thoa tribe, the only tribe that could control the Metroids. And Ravenbeak made it a point to make sure that all the members of the Thoas tribe, except for Quiet Robe, were dead, so that way he can control the Metroids. And if Ravenbeak was also in contact with the space pirates, safe to say it wouldn't be too much of a stretch that Ravenbeak actually ordered the space pirates to basically put a hit on that colony so that way they can, you know, kill the Chozo there. But they got away before the space pirates could arrive. So, in a way, Mach, the Makin and Ravenbeak in general were responsible for all the events of the Metroid series.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, because of that, we gotta kick his butt.
Yes, yes. And this boss fight,
Hardest
uh,
final boss in the entire series.
yeah, most final bosses in Metroid
Are
are
Yeah, they're all victory laps.
they're all victory laps. This one is so you remember how last game I was complaining about how Ridley was disappointing because it wasn't like we had to use our full arsenal. This boss fight requires our full arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now, this is. Tell me if this resonates with you. I think this is the most fighting game a Metroid boss fight has ever been.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Because, like, you're air dashing around, he's air dashing around, countering, and all that stuff. It's definitely kind of got like a fighting game feel to it. Uh, Now, let me go ahead and establish this is the boss where I found that the seeker missiles were a noob trap because uh, the seeker missiles actually do less than half damage that a missile does.
Oh yeah.
And they take up 3 missiles instead of just one.
Mm-hmm. I would say like the only times I used the seeker missiles in this fight was when Ravenbeak was in his flying phase and was doing the rapid fire shots.
Yeah.
Oh, also another fun lore thing about this fight. So if you paid attention in this game and in the last game, you know that Ravenbeak is actually using the Aeon abilities from Samus Returns in this fight.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Yeah, he's using the rapid fire shot, as you can see. He's using the armor, the lightning armor. He's using the I forgot what it's called, the slowdown. he's using all of the Aeon abilities.
Yeah, and his fly. Honestly, one thing I noticed, his flying, uh, it just has Ridley stuff, like the
Oh yeah.
slamming on the ground and up against the wall, like very much, uh, very much a Ridley style fight. So yeah, I mean, I think this might be the best final boss fight in all of Metroid.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing: is it the best fight in Metroid? It's definitely up there, but it's definitely the best final boss in Metroid, up there with the original Metroid Prime.
Let's see, and then we get one final. We get
Heck yeah, Mario. Hype
one final
moment.
heck, because we get one final um, power up. We'll say
One final suit.
one final suit,
And
and
that is and
the
that
Metroid.
is the Metroid suit.
Yes. Um, and real quick, one thing I liked about this is uh, you you would hope that give me a second. Yeah, there we go. You would hope that you wouldn't have to replay this part over and over. You wouldn't have to replay the boss fight if you lost here, which is nice because you'll spawn right here. Um,
Oh, did you die?
no, but I looked it up and apparently you can.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously, but thank goodness you don't have to fight that boss again.
Yeah,
By the way, real quick, what do you think of the Metroid suit design?
I think it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, like
Um,
it's just like alien enough where you know this is like something like brand new and foreign, but still it's still very Samus.
yes,
And I wouldn't exactly call this like the hyper beam. I would call this like the Metroid beam
it
because
is the
at
hyper beam though.
well I know, but if you notice, this beam also completely eradicates X parasites, which is not supposed to happen.
True.
Only through like planetary destruction is an X parasite supposed to go. But I guess that makes sense because the hyper beam is supposed to be rooted into like Metroids, considering all the hyper beams prior to this game were sourced from Metroids, such as in Super Metroid with the Baby Metroid and the hyper beams from Prime coming from Metroid Prime. By the way,
And
one more lore thing. At this is something that makes me very glad we played through. We played through Other M, which is the lore idea that Metroids actually mutate the life forms surrounding it, especially the ones that they've befriended. That actually explains how Samus would get these mutations from having the Metroid DNA and actually like be able to become a Metroid basically, because that is how Metroid DNA works. It does mutate you if you come into contact with it.
yeah, and here's the victory lap.
Yeah, this is the victory lap. It's like,
You're just Cyclops with the optic blasts.
mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, once you escape, this is this is Metroid Dread. This
Well,
is
oh,
the
well, one last thing, one last lore thing. Now, right before you're about to activate the ship, Adam stops you because, well, you're a Metroid, and if you touch the ship, you'll just drain of its power. But then suddenly, an X-Parasite replicate version of Quiet Rope shows up, and then lets Samus absorb the X-Parasite and basically tame the Metroid DNA so that way she can escape. Now, this asks a lot of questions about the X parasite's biology, and I actually do have a few theories about it. Now, this isn't the first time X parasites have done this. As you can see, that one of the SAXs saved Samus and let the X parasite, well, and let it be absorbed by Samus. Now, why do you think that is, Caleb?
Um. So in Fusion, I always took it as the enemy, my enemy is my friend, because it was specifically to defeat the Omega Metroid. Here, I have no idea because Samus is a Metroid.
I actually have a theory.
Okay.
So you know how X parasites they they replicate everything about the life form it absorbs, but also it
So
likes
it
to
absorbed.
it no well it also likes to separate. It likes to not separate. It reproduces asexually and creates copies of itself. So if you remember, there were like 12 SAXs on board the 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 research facility in Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
My theory is basically the X parasite we saw, the SAX we saw at the end of Fusion. I would consider it to be the runt of the litter. It's the one that has the majority of the stuff that the X parasite would seem unnecessary, such as empathy and kindness. And what I'm seeing is something similar to this, where basically the Achilles heel of the X parasite is being a good person. Because if you think about it, the X parasite came from SR388, right?
Yeah.
SR388 was inhabited by very simple creatures. The X parasite had no real defenses against kindness, about being selfless, self sacrifice. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is literally foreign to them because SR38 was not inhabited by any intelligent life. So, my
Yeah.
theory is the greatest weakness of the X parasite is being a good person.
Friendship.
Yes.
Sure. Sure. Why not?
It's not the Metroid that kills the X parasite, it's being a good person and blowing up planets. Which she does at the end of the game. ZDR explodes, and all the X parasites are gone again.
Maybe.
They're gone.
You know, what's my thing? I wonder where you can go after this.
Brand new chapter. That, or they just bring like a remnant of the space pirates. I guess you could do that. Space pirate remnants. Like, how about What if the main villain of the next game is Mecha Ridley rebuilt? But this time,
Sure.
but this time it's complete because Mecha Ridley wasn't finished in Fusion or not Fusion in Zero Mission. We'll actually be able to see a complete version of Mecha Ridley.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: is there anything else lore wise that we need to say about this?
As far as I know, no. I think I've gotten all the lore out of my system.
All right. Well, that was it. This is the Metroid Crusade up until uh,
Prime
Prime
4.
4, which
Now we do have
as of recording, it comes out. Uh, let me see. I believe
in
it's this
4
Friday, right?
days. No, Thursday.
Thursday. Now, this will be posted on Wednesday, and so we are going to have one more video to make where we go back and look at the original tier list, and then we have to remake it to show how wrong we were because we were very wrong. So until then, I'm Caleb,
I'm Junko.
and we'll catch you later.